where any engineering stream can develop a good project with the help of proper project management skill. Means we can develop a good project with limited technical resources and budget. The project management is not only cover the path of the project development, but also include the resources allocation, consumer handling or customer handling, problem resolving, project team dynamics, and much more. Today's guest lecture is based on the latest trend technology and tools in project management for our BCA final year students. And the resource person of the today's online session is Mr. Vinay Sharma sir. And Vinay Sharma sir is a project management manager in QSS Technosoft Private Limited, Noida. Welcome, sir, for this guest lecture. Now I'm going to read the profile of Vinay sir. Vinay sir is well skilled with project management, and he having overall 17 years of experience, and he is versatile in very domains like healthcare. He has already developed or managed healthcare related softwares, or project development. He has already managed e-commerce related web project, technical retail, and traveling, insurance, etc. Now he is not only a good project manager, but he is very proficient in technical aspects like he's very good in ASP.NET, XML, C Sharp, integration of web services means SOAP and all, WSDL, WCF, and much more. Welcome you, sir, in this session. In this session, now I am going to over the session to Vinay sir. Vinay sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Right, as mentioned by Abhay sir, I have been working as a project manager in a company called QSS Technosoft Private Limited. I have been working with this organization for about last 2 years, and before this, I had been working with a company called Matrix International Services. So I had been serving there for about 15 years earlier. Before that, I had been working with Indian Oil Corporation for about 1.5. So during this journey, I had been working with jobs, and I had started my career as a developer, and over the period, I evolved into multiple roles. So I got the opportunity working in different roles, and I learned so many things during my career. So I think this is the time when I can share my knowledge and thoughts that can help you in understanding the concepts better. So let me share my screen.
Vinay sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir. Your voice is not as clear.
Okay.
Not
Is it
so
fine
clear.
now?
Yes, yes, little bit, sir. Little bit improved.
Okay. If still you find any issues, then let me know. I would like to switch the headset.
Hello.
Can you
Yes, sir.
can
Yes,
you
sir.
see my
Yeah,
screen now?
you can, sir.
So today we are going to discuss something about the project management, and regarding project management, we have following items that we are going to cover during this session. So we would like to discuss something about what is project, what do you understand by a project, what is project management. So what is project management? So impacts of poorly managed project. If the project is not being managed properly, then what kind of impact might be there? What are the typical project management stages? What are the different stages in project management? So what are the key components? Uh, some other supplementary kind of components that are not the direct component, but they plays very crucial role. Then we would like to discuss about the project management methodologies available, and we would like to go through them, couple of them in detail, so that it can give you a good understanding. Then we would like to discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of different methodologies, so that based on that we can decide which methodology we should adopt in a particular project. So out of them, the one latest methodology that is the most popular these days, that is Agile. And in the Agile itself, there is a framework called Scrum. We would like to discuss about that as well. So we would also discuss one more methodology, the implementation framework of Agile itself, that is Kanban. So and we will see couple of simple regarding project management tools. Okay, so that's the whole agenda. So what is a project? So if we discuss about this, so anything, so if we are doing, there are two different things. One is, we try to do something in certain budget, within certain timelines, and then we produce some deliverable. So the deliverable might be tangible or intangible in IT line. So that depends. But there are certain category, the attributes that project derive. So there are two different things, like one is project and one is ongoing activity. So like the business as usual activities, so that is called operation. So this would be, let's say if there is some manufacturing company, and on a daily basis there is some manufacturing going on, and they are producing some outcome. So that is not project. So that is a kind of operational activity. That's not the project. But a project is uh, when we do something with certain budget, some time scale, and some intended objectives. So that is called a project, and that the outcome of that efforts will be a unique outcome. So that is called a project. For example, if we talk about the construction project, if we talk about, so constructing, so constructing a building is a kind of a project. So when each each building might be different project. So let's say there are these days so many societies being developed by the builders. So all these societies which are being built by the builder, so those are unique project, because each will derive to a unique product. So each might have different plans, each might have different budget, each might have different timelines, schedule basically. So that's the main thing, that the usual activities of any business, that is called operation, whereas when we are achieving some unique result, that is called project. So if we talk about the project man, so this project management is not the new thing. So in past also, uh, there are so many projects had been carried out. So if we would like to take some example from past, so let's say pyramids of Giza, those were constructed. So that is a kind of unique project. Great Wall of China, Taj Mahal, Panama Canal. So so when that initiative had been taken, so there were certain efforts, and which derived to a unique outcome of that project, of that efforts. So there are other examples as well, like polio vaccine. So let's say these days we are going to, our government putting so many efforts for the corona vaccine. So that is another project. And let's say after the vaccine is available, then distributing that vaccine across all the cities, all the states, that will be another project. So which will be carried out under certain supervision. So these are some examples. Then let's say if you talk about what is project management. So project management can be defined as the discipline of applying specific processes and principles to initiate, plan, and execute and manage the way the new initiatives or changes are implemented within an organization. All right. So project management is different from the management of the business as usual activity, as I mentioned, that those ongoing processes are called operations. So the key this, separating factor is the unique result. So why the project management is required? So why do we need to do the project management? So if we look at certain benefits, then probably we can understand it better. So if we do effective project management, then it's going to help the organization to meet the business objectives, satisfy the stakeholder expectations, be more predictable. So whenever you go, let's say, when you are following certain processes and skill set, then definitely you can be more predictable, and it will reduce the uncertainty in the effort. So increase the chances of success because you are following certain guidelines and defined processes. Then definitely it's going to help in the success. So deliver the right product at the right time. So maybe let's say if you success, but if you don't follow the effective project management practices, then you might not be able to deliver it on time. So then again, it will be considered as the failure. So resolving problems and issues, respond to risk in a timely manner. So whenever you do something, so whenever you think about project management, so it would be really great if you think something bigger. Let's say creating a new highway, like like the expressway was created. So if you think about a project, then think on bigger scale. Then it will help you to correlate better. So where the thousand of employees are involved, it will be completed in several months, maybe several years. So then it will help you to understand better. So there might be small projects as well, but there might be bigger projects as well. In IT industries, there might be 3 to 4 months or 6 month projects as well, and there might be projects which take about 3 to 4 years or 10 years also. So there are projects something like that. So in fact, I have been working on a current project that is being developed for last about 2.5 years, and it is going to take about one and a half more years now. So that is also going to take about 4 to 5 years easily. So when you think about the project, then whatever we are discussing, you should think about it on a bigger scale. That will help you understand the concept better. So, these are the different benefits that we are going to achieve with the help of effective project management practices. So this was why we should focus on project management. Why it is important. So if we don't follow the effective project management practices, then definitely there would be some repercussions, and those repercussions are some of the repercussions are listed here. Let's say you might be missing the deadlines of the project. Let's say if you have to derive some output within 1 year, and the government has defined certain plans, uh, then definitely if you are not going to deliver that project within the timelines, then it's going to impact all rest of the plans of the government, and then it might be leading to dissatisfaction among the public. So cost overruns. Let's say if you had planned the project will take about 500 crores, and if you did not follow uh, the right practices, and it might lead to extra cost in the project. And let's say if there is 100 crore more money required, then in that case, that project, that is called cost overrun, and definitely that's going to lead the failure of the project. So let's say if you complete the project, but that is not as per the quality, then again it's going to lead the failure of the project. So let's say there is a new mobile version launch, let's say iPhone 12. So and there is some timelines defined and all, so all the budget is planned, the schedule is planned, and if you don't deliver it, on the time, then again it's going to impact, or it's going to lead the failure of the project. And if it is taking more cost, then again it is leading to the failure of the project. So, and let's say if you manage both cost and time both, but you are not able to manage the quality, the level of quality which was expected, it is not delivering that, then again that will lead to the failure of the project. Let's say you are using the mobile and you are doing some video call, and let's say during that period, uh, that call is getting disconnected, or the quality is not good, or there's some other hiccup, then definitely that is the kind of quality issues, and that's going to failure of the project. So that is the reason why we need project management practices to be followed, and project managers are required. They will make sure to take care of everything. So I will discuss what are the key areas where we need to focus. So if we don't follow the practices, then there might be rework required. There might be scope creep. Let's say someone or the other guys keep on adding something to your scope. Okay, for example, एक घर बना रहे हैं, उस घर बनाने में आपको एक चीज और चाहिए, एक कैबिनेट और बना दो, एक इधर दूसरा सेल्फ डाल दो. तो काइंड ऑफ you keep on adding the things. Let's say कस्टमर ने जब बोला था तो वहां पे कुछ और बनाने का था, वो एक स्कोप डिफाइन हो गया, that this will be the scope of the project, and then keep on adding something on it. Then obviously कस्टमर को वो चाहिए सब कुछ, बट अगर आप वो सब ऐड करने जाओगे तो डेफिनेटली वो आपकी या तो कॉस्ट बढ़ा देगा, या फिर आपके टाइमलाइंस को बढ़ा देगा, या फिर वो अगर आप दोनों चीजें मैनेज भी करोगे तो मे बी, क्योंकि सेम कॉस्ट और सेम टाइम आप लगाओगे, तो देन इट विल लीड टू some quality issues in that case. So it can also lead to reputation issues of the organization, or the stakeholders might not be satisfied. So stakeholders means the people who are going to use that project, or whomsoever is related to that project. So the satisfaction factor is also very important. I will discuss about it as well. So in a typical project management, there are multiple stages, and the the industry experts have different stages according to different methodology. But overall, if we talk about project management, then there are these five key areas which are these key stages which are involved. So there is a kind of initiating the project, then planning the project, execution of the project, monitoring and controlling, and closing. So initiating means when we discuss about the project, uh, which project is to be taken, uh, why this project is required. There are certain approvals will be required from customer, whomsoever going to pay. So that is called a sponsor. So whomsoever is paying for that project. Uh, so all these things, so the business case of that project will be required, and the kind of initiating of that project will be approved by the sponsor, and then this project will start officially. So once that initiation is done, then planning came into picture. Then people have to do the proper planning, planning for the cost, planning for the quality things, planning for the timelines. You mean schedule, You have to plan for the resources, which resources are going to be involved in it. So if there are some sort of procurement, you need to purchase some services or goods from outside, then that has to be taken care. Um, what will be the communication medium and all that sort of things. So then execution is basically implementation of that project. Once everything is planned, then you are going to implement that project. So people will be working on it. So like developers do the development of the project. Then there is one more stage, that is monitoring and controlling. So somebody has to regularly keep on verifying the product or services, whether that are as per the expectation or not. So it should not be something like at the end of 2 years you will say that this project is not as per the expectation. So that should be ongoing activity. You should keep a track of everything. You should be verifying the project time to time basis. Then finally is closing. Closing is basically delivering, handing over the product to the end customer, and releasing the project team. Whomsoever people are involved in that project, those should be released, and officially that should be handed over to the customer. So these are the different stages in project management. So these are involved, in most of the methodologies, whatever we follow. So if we talk about the key components, as I mentioned already, so the key components are time, cost, scope, and quality. So in fact, time, cost, and scope is considered as the triple constraint of project management. So it means if you make changes in any of these components, then definitely it's going to impact other things also. It will be impacting other components as well. So this is called knowledge areas. Uh, in the project management field, PMI is the organization which is the worldwide, world largest, the biggest organization. Uh, Basically, it's a kind of open institution which has laid down certain guidelines basis on the feedback from industry experts. Um what kind of processes should be followed, uh, what practices should be taken care. So it suggests, so many things that based on that, a proper book had been, published, which is called PIMBOK. So that PIMBOK is from PMI side, and it laid down, it distributes all the things into process groups. um, these stages are considered as the process groups, and the components are considered there as knowledge areas. So knowledge areas are like, time, cost, scope, quality, and apart from that, these components are there: human resources, communication, risk management, procurement, stakeholder management, and integration of all these items together. So these are different, the knowledge areas from Pinbox side. So PMI is the the biggest institution that is helping people in doing better project management. So and it is a kind of open form where everyone can contribute if you are a PMI member. So you have to take the PMI membership, and then you can do it. So so the PIMBOK is the kind of set of, it's a book which has the set principle and processes recommended by industry experts. So that PIMBOK is considered as the Bible for project managers. So now, if we talk about if we talk about project management methodologies, then there are different methodologies available, but some of the popular methodologies are waterfall model and the agile model. So what we will discuss about couple of them in detail, so that it can help you guys. So waterfall model is the traditional approach which is used by most of the project management communities, and people at the largest scale follow this pattern. But it has some inherent challenges as well. So which are so that is the reason why other project management methodologies are followed. So there are waterfall, critical path management. Uh, then in Agile we have a different implementation of Agile like Scrum, Kanban, and Extreme Programming. So we will discuss about Kanban and Scrum also. So if we talk about a waterfall model, in the waterfall model, what happens like everything works, in a linear manner. So let's say if you want to do some project, then you have to collect the requirements. So if somebody comes to you for doing some project, then definitely he has to. Now let's take some example from IT world. So let's say we are developing a software related to US healthcare domain. So in that project, client has to explain us what he want in that project. So what the kind of functionalities are there that he is looking for. So all the requirements has to be clarified by the customer, and then based on those requirements the further development will be done, right? So if we talk about that kind of IT project, so what will happen? So requirements has to be laid down first, then there will be certain designs. The modules will be designed and planned properly, and then it will be presented to customer. Then he will give the acceptance on those designs. And if we follow waterfall model, in that case I'm telling that this is the flow we are going to follow, that we will be collecting the requirements, then doing the designing and planning of the things, and then it will be implemented. So developers would be doing the coding, developing different modules, um, and then those modules will be verified by the QA team, by the stakeholders. That is called UAT, user acceptance testing. So they will be giving kind of go no go on the product, and there will be maintenance after that. So if we see here, so in waterfall model, what happens that we will complete one phase, then only we will move to next phase. So once the requirement will be finalized, collected, and documented and signed off by the customer, then only we are going to proceed to the next level, right? So this is what waterfall model. So what are the benefits of doing following this waterfall model? So this is very straightforward in planning and designing due to the agreement on the deliverables at the start of the project, because the client is going to give the requirements, and once those requirements are collected, it will be signed off by the customer. So we have some documented requirements which later on client cannot say that I don't want this. So basically everything is documented in front of you. You know clearly what need to be done, what need to be implemented, and accordingly you are going to develop it. So that is why it is very straightforward. So better design with whole system approach, because you move to next phase only when you completed the first phase. So that is why you understand the complete picture of the project, what client is looking for, right? So that's why it helps. It is a kind of good practice, because it gives you kind of holistic picture of the project. Then you have some defined scope of the work, because everything is in front of you. You know what all the things need to be implemented. uh, then it helps in costing as well. So because you know what all the things need to be developed, then you can easily uh, figure out which resources are to be applied, which human resources are required, how many quantity of the resources you can figure out, number of people involved you can figure out, and that is how it can help in doing the costing. So you can easily do the costing in that case. So you can measure the progress because you have the defined set of things, and you can compare it with them, and it will help in measuring the things, right? So you can define the different team roles, like who would be doing the testing, who is going to develop the module, right? Who is going to design the modules, so who is going to collect the requirements. So So these all roles can be defined, and people have clarity on the roles, right? So, and one more benefit is that you can, because you have multiple set of requirements available, you have all the requirements documented, so you can start on multiple activities together. Now, before proceeding further, Abhay sir, I would like to know, is there any time constraint on the meeting ID? Is it not going to close automatically? I just wish to verify.
No, sir, no, sir. It
Can
will go beyond the limit.
Okay, okay, then great, great. So I just wish to know so
Okay,
that
sir.
I am going to cover accordingly.
Okay, sir.
Some of the disadvantages of this waterfall model. So if we look at disadvantages, what is the thing that are going to limit us? So it is very rigid structure to allow the necessary changes. So let me give you some example to explain this better. So let's say if there is some project which is going to complete in 2 years, and let's say after 6 months there are some changes in the law, government laws. So what will happen? So you have to make those changes in your project as well if that's going to implement. So let's say some time back, about 2 3 years back, GST was implemented. So when GST was implemented, there were so many IT projects taken up. So let's say if there are some amendments come for from government, then definitely that's going to impact your project as well. So if you become rigid that we are not going to anticipate any changes because we are working in such so and so direction, then definitely it becomes difficult for the customer. So why a customer is doing a project? So that he is going to achieve certain benefits from that project. And if he is not able to achieve those benefits, or the intended goals are not achieved, then in that case, obviously he would like to make some changes into that project, right? So, but this waterfall model says all the requirements had been documented, let's say in the first month of the project is starting. So now you are into the 7 month of the project, and you are not going to accept the changes, because if you will accept the changes, then it will impact other factors. It will impact your time, it will impact your the cost in the project, the people involved. So that's going to pushing it back to the requirements phase, and then again it has to come back to this development phase, right? So no scope or allowance for uncertainty. So whenever so the challenge we have that any customer cannot confirm about the uncertainty of the future, because what would be there after down the line, let's say after 8 months, after 1 year, what's going to happen? There might be some changes, some uncertainty involved. So, and this waterfall model don't allow the changes. It limits the customer engagement. So once the requirements and all are documented, then customer involvement is not much required. So it will be required when those that product or services need to be verified. Then customer will come back into the picture, right? So this is a kind of sequential approach, and it is not ideal actually for large size projects. So when you have very large projects, so in that case, it becomes really very difficult to manage. Or what happens, like most of the projects fail. So in that case, what happens, like these kind of scenarios were happening. I would give you some more details that will help you to understand. So before 2000, um, there were some challenges that during a survey it was identified that more than 67% of the projects were failing. 67% of the projects were failing completely. So which means the success rate was very low. You know, so then it was realized that there is some issue with the processes that we are following or the framework we are following. That is why some other research were done and other methodologies were adopted, right? So we will discuss about other methodologies as well. So there is one more methodology. So basically, this is not kind of methodology exactly, but this is a kind of method. So, but how it works? It says like it determines how a project is to be carried out. So it works on the basis of a method called critical path management. So it identifies the critical path of the project. So what is the critical path? Critical path is the, if you see in this current diagram, so we have three different paths where we can perform the activities based on the dependency, because uh, it happens like, when you're doing some project, there will be certain activity involved in it, and those activities can be carried out uh, in specific order. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप कंस्ट्रक्शन का कोई काम करते हैं, कोई बिल्डिंग बनाने जा रहे हैं, जब तक उसके पिलर वगैरह खड़े नहीं होंगे, तो उसका बेस बनेगा नहीं, तब तक क्या आप बाकी का कोई और काम कर सकते हैं? क्या आप उसमें वो इलेक्ट्रिशियन वाला काम करा सकते हैं? नहीं. यू हैव टू वेट. तो पिलर्स खड़े हो जाएंगे, दीवार हो जाएंगी, तो उसके बाद यू हैव टू वेट. अब मान लीजिए आपने जो उसका रूफ होता है, लेंटल्स को बोलते हैं, वो डाल दिया गया है, बट वो आपको वेट करना पड़ेगा जब तक कि वो सूखेगा नहीं. तो लेट्स से देयर वुड बी डिले ऑफ 10 days, 15 days, 20 days. तो बेसिकली जितनी भी एक्टिविटीज होती हैं, उन एक्टिविटीज को कैरी आउट करने के लिए उनकी इंटरडिपेंडेंसीज होती हैं. उन इंटरडिपेंडेंसीज को कंसिडर करते हुए उनको डिफरेंट एक सीक्वेंस में सेट किया जाता है. एंड कौन सी एक्टिविटीज हैं जो कि विदाउट डिपेंडेंसी साथ में हो सकती हैं. इफ यू सी, जो लास्ट वाली सीक्वेंस आप देख रहे होंगे, 3, 2, 5, 8, 10, लास्ट वाली है 2. So this is kind of, that can be done in parallel, but others have dependency. So let's say number 6 can be done after number 3. Number 3 can be number 3, number 4, number 5 can be done only after number 2 activity is completed. So this uh, this sequencing of the activity gives us a kind of idea that which activities can be carried out first and which can be carried out in parallel. So that helps in project management, and it's not a full-fledged kind of methodology, but yes, it helps in all the other methodologies which are available. So now let's talk about agile. So agile is the most popular and most trending methodology which is being followed these days. So if we talk about agile, in 1990 there were some military background people, Jeff Sutherland and one more guy. They had been doing something, and they had their own experiences, and based on that they suggested some other model. So based on their the approaches, it has been figured out that there are other models that can be followed. So they laid down certain things. Based on that, this agile model is carried out. If you want to get the complete detail, there is a book available online which can be freely available. You can download it and go through it. But I will give you high level idea here. So what happens in agile approaches? So when we discussed about waterfall model, what was the challenge? That the activities will be done in sequential manner. So once the requirement will be documented, then design and planning will be done. Then once it is completed, then the implementation will happen, and then it will be verified by the customer, and then it will be deployed to the production. So this was the model. What Agile says, so Agile says that don't work like that, but you should work in an adaptive model. What was the challenge there in waterfall model? That we are not taking any changes. So this agile methodology says that a customer, there is no project where you can say that we will not accept the changes. If you will not accept the changes, then customer will be dissatisfied. So we have to adopt the changes. If there are some changes expected by the customer, then we have to adopt them. So what this says this methodology basically says that you split your processes into smaller chunks. So it's a kind of iterative model where you do the small iterations of the entire cycle. So whatever you do them in small iterations. Let's say you you build some product, you plan some product, design it, build, test, and review, and then deploy. So once completed, can you see my screen properly? Yeah, I hope so. You would be seeing it.
Yes, sir, your screen is properly
Yes.
visible.
So then there will be a once this can
Abhay sir, mute your mic. Abhay sir.
okay. So agile model. So it's a kind of iterative model, and it is allow the changes to happen. That is why it is called the adaptive model as well. So let me go through it. It's a kind of iterative development where requirements and solutions evolve through the collaboration between the self-organization cross-functional teams. The primary goal of being agile is empowering the team, development team ability to respond to the changes in an uncertain environment. So uncertainty is involved in all the projects, and this is going to deal with this uncertainty or the uncertain environment. That is why this is far better than waterfall model for the uncertain environment. So benefits of using agile, like faster software development, predictable schedules in the sprint, customer focused. Customer focused basically it will focus mainly on the customer, what customer wants. रिक्वायरमेंट में चेंज हो रहा है तो होगा कोई नहीं, बट कस्टमर अगर चाहता है तो वो करना पड़ेगा. रिजल्टिंग इन द इंक्रीज कस्टमर सेटिस्फेक्शन बिकॉज आप कस्टमर की सुन रहे हो, उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप चेंजेस को अकोमोडेट कर रहे हो. So that is the reason it will lead to more customer satisfaction. It is flexible in accepting the changes, empowers the team to manage the project, self-management kind of thing, promotes efficient communication, ideal for the projects with non-fixed funding. Because आप कस्टमर के चेंजेस को एक्सेप्ट करोगे, उनके ऊपर काम करोगे, उनको आप डिलीवर करोगे, definitely that's going to increase your cost. So if you are working in a fixed cost model, then definitely it's not that suitable, or you have to figure out some other ways as well along with this project. Otherwise, uh, basically cost might be varying, and it's not good for fixed kind of project. It helps in continuous improvement, rapid adaptation to changes through the faster customer feedback. So in agile case, we will discuss about it further, but you need to understand that customer is completely involved with the development team, the project manager. In the development of the project, the customer is completely involved. So the customer involvement is the key factor here. Some of the disadvantages of agile methodology, like agile requires a high degree of customer involvement. तो कस्टमर कुछ ऐसा भी कस्टमर होता है, बोलेगा कि आप मेरे से रिक्वायरमेंट एक बार में ले लो जो लेना है, मैं रोज रोज प्रोजेक्ट में इन्वॉल्व नहीं है, प्रोजेक्ट तो 2 साल चलेगा, मैं 2 साल मैं रेगुलर बेसिस पे आपके टच में नहीं रह सकता. So in that case, this methodology is not feasible to them. कस्टमर को इन्वॉल्व होना पड़ेगा, राइट. So it works on the principle of self-management and assumes every team member to completely dedicated to the project. अगर सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड वे में, सेल्फ मैनेजमेंट मोड में अगर टीम काम करेगी, देन ओनली इट कैन बी सक्सेसफुल. अदरवाइज एजाइल फॉलो करने से काम नहीं बनेगा, एंड वो दैट विल लीड टू फेलियर. A time box iteration may not be enough to accommodate all the deliverables which are required. Changing priority and waiting for the additional funds can bring up the cost. So in agile mode, what happens, like what we have seen here, let me show you. हम लोग ने देखा था कि हम एजाइल के अंदर क्या होता है, छोटे छोटे आइटरेशंस में हम डिफरेंट साइकिल्स को फॉलो करते रहते हैं और रीआइटरेट करते रहते हैं। तो ये साइकिल्स जो होंगी, उन साइकिल्स के अंदर हम काम कर रहे होंगे। अगर कोई चेंजेस आएंगे तो इस साइकिल के बीच में हम कोई नया चेंज नहीं लेंगे। जो अगर कोई चेंज आएगा देन दैट कस्टमर हैज टू वेट अंटिल नेक्स्ट साइकिल, एंड अगर कोई और फिर चेंज आता है तो वो उसके अगले साइकिल में। दिस वे कस्टमर विल नीड टू वेट, एंड agile generally it is you are communicating pretty well, and अगर आप रिमोट लोकेशन से काम करते हैं देन कम्युनिकेशन बिकम्स काइंड ऑफ चैलेंज. So however these days it is being done in great manner, but it is only said like अगर co-located टीम होती है तो ज़्यादा बेटर तरीके से कम्युनिकेशन होती है. एंड एजाइल की सक्सेस के लिए कम्युनिकेशन इज अ की फैक्टर. So now let's talk about this Kanban. So this is very interesting, and I would suggest, in fact, all of you that you understand this and you can start following this yourself in your day-to-day practice. This is very to follow. So this in the agile methodology, there are different kind of implementation available. So that implementation is called a kind of framework. So there is Scrum framework and there is Kanban framework. Both are agile methods, but this Kanban is really easy, and you guys can take the benefit with a little bit of understanding. So let me explain you. So what Kanban says, Kanban follows the Kanban board. This is the Kanban board. So what it does कि जो भी आपको काम करना है, सारा बैकलॉग आप अपना एक साइड में रखो. आप अलग अलग कैटेगरीज बना लो अपने बोर्ड पे. नॉर्मल घर में कोई बोर्ड बनाओ, व्हाइट बोर्ड ले लो, या कहीं पे भी आप अपने पिन बोर्ड होता है, पिन बोर्ड बना लो, उसमें चिट लेके लगा सकते हो साथ में. एंड मैं फॉलो करता हूँ तभी मैं आपको भी बता रहा हूँ. आप लोग इजीली इसको फॉलो कर सकते हैं और अच्छा रहेगा. तो इसमें होता क्या कि जितना भी आपका बैकलॉग है, आपको क्या क्या करना है, कोई भी घर का काम भी अगर आप चाहो तो वो भी आप उठा के लिस्ट लगाना शुरू कर दो. एक ये येलो स्लिप आती है, वो येलो स्लिप लेके उनके ऊपर काम लिखो एंड इधर अपना बैकलॉग के अंदर डालना शुरू कर दो. और बैकलॉग के अंदर डालना कैसे, आपको उनको जितनी भी चीजें हैं सारे उठा के पहले अपना बैकलॉग यहाँ पे डाल दो, क्या क्या काम करना है इस प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर. जो भी करना है सारा बैकलॉग के अंदर आ गया. देन यू हैव टू प्रायोरिटाइज. You have to define the sequence, which activity first and which will be later. So based on that, that sequence has to be defined in this backlog itself, right? एंड उसके बाद क्या होगा कि जो भी सीक्वेंस में एक्टिविटी रखी होंगी, जो डेवलपमेंट टीम होगी वो क्या करेगी, आप खुद कर रहे हो तो भी, मतलब अगर आप अकेले भी हैं तो भी बात करें, तो बैकलॉग में से आप एक आइटम उठाएंगे, उस आइटम को उठा के वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस वाली कैटेगरी में मूव करेंगे और उस पर काम करेंगे. फिर इसके बाद जब ये कंप्लीट हो जाएगा, देन इट विल बी मूव टू वैलिडेट एंड देन इट विल बी मूव टू कंप्लीट कैटेगरी. So this is how it works. This is pretty simple, and it literally works, in really great manner, and it helps you to remain focused. So the key factor is people remain focused, and they will keep on picking up the items from the backlog, working on it, and moving into different categories from left to right. Right. Then there is Scrum framework. If we talk about the Scrum, then Scrum is an agile. This is the most popular framework, and nowadays this is being used by maximum organizations and project managers. Right. So Scrum is an agile framework for developing, delivering, and sustaining the complex products with an initial emphasis on the software development, although it has been used in other fields, including research, sales, marketing, and other technologies. So it relies on the cross-functional teams to deliver the product and services in the short cycle. जैसे हम बात करते हैं कि shorter cycles में काम करता है. So what are the fundamental items behind Agile and Scrum? So individual uh, and interactions over the processes and tools. So what we are discussing here, लोगों से इंटरेक्शन करना, लोगों को अहमियत देना, that is more important for agile with compared to process and tools which was laid in waterfall model. So instead of processes and tools, लोगों को प्रायोरिटी देना, उनके साथ इंटरेक्शन करना, that is the main factor for Scrum. वर्किंग मॉडल्स, वर्किंग प्रोडक्ट्स ओवर कॉम्प्रहेंसिव डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. वाटरफॉल में क्या होता है, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पहले होएगी और डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में बहुत जोर रहता है, क्लाइंट उस पर एग्रीमेंट करेगा, देन ओनली वी विल प्रोसीड फर्दर. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट अजाइल की हमें वर्किंग प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, तो वर्किंग प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर फोकस करेंगे. कस्टमर कोलैबोरेशन ओवर द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नेगोशिएशन. उधर वाटरफॉल मॉडल में आप जाते हो, पहले सारी रिक्वायरमेंट वगैरह सब डिफाइन होती है, सब चीजें होती हैं, देन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नेगोशिएट होते हैं. उसके बजाय इधर क्या होता है कि कस्टमर की बातों को ज्यादा अहमियत दी जाती है, एंड उसके अगर कोई चेंजेस भी होते हैं तो उनके ऊपर बात की जाती है. एंड एज आई मेंशन्ड अर्लियर, जहाँ पे फिक्स कॉस्ट प्रोजेक्ट होते हैं वहां पे इसको मैनेज करना थोड़ा डिफरेंट वे में होगा. अदरवाइज जहाँ पे फिक्स कॉस्ट प्रोजेक्ट नहीं होते, देन इन दैट केस दिस इज द मोस्ट सुटेबल थिंग. रेस्पॉन्डिंग टू द चेंजेस ओवर द फॉलोइंग ए प्लान. कोई प्लान बना दिया, उस प्लान को ही फॉलो करना है, ऐसा नहीं है. एजाइल के अंदर आपको ऐसा है कि आपने प्लान बनाने के बजाय आप जो है ना एग्जीक्यूशन पे फॉलो करते हो. आप ओवरऑल मतलब चेंजेस कुछ भी आते हैं तो उन चेंजेस को अडॉप्ट करते हो, उनके ऊपर काम करते हो. ठीक है. अगर हम बात करते हैं टिपिकल जो स्क्रम होता है, टिपिकल स्क्रम इस तरीके से कुछ होता है. इसमें अब हम स्क्रम के बारे में बात करें, थोड़ा समझ लेते हैं कि क्या क्या चीजें. स्क्रम बस सिर्फ इतना ही है जो यहाँ सामने दिखाई दे रहा है, मैं इसको एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करता हूँ आपको. जो डिफरेंट रोल्स हैं इन्वॉल्व, वो रोल्स हैं लाइक प्रोडक्ट ओनर एक रोल होता है यहाँ पे, स्क्रम मास्टर एक होता है, स्क्रम टीम मेंबर्स होते हैं और स्टेक होल्डर्स होते हैं. ये 4 डिफरेंट रोल्स हैं स्क्रम के अंदर जो लेट डाउन किए गए. इसके अलावा इसमें कुछ इवेंट्स होती हैं, या यू कैन से यू नो सेरेमनीज भी बोलते हैं इसको. तो सेरेमनीज होती हैं. क्या सेरेमनीज होती हैं? एक होता है आपका स्प्रिंट प्लानिंग. एक स्प्रिंट प्लानिंग मीटिंग होती है इसके अंदर, इसको एक इवेंट या सेरेमनी बोलते हैं. फिर एक होता है डेली स्क्रम. फिर होता है स्प्रिंट रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव मीटिंग और स्प्रिंट रिव्यू मीटिंग. ये मेन इसकी सेरेमनीज हैं, इवेंट्स हैं. इनके बारे में हम बात करेंगे अभी डिटेल में क्या है. इसके अलावा क्या है कि काम कैसे करता है, कि पहले इन रोल्स के बारे में थोड़ा थोड़ा सा बता देता हूँ कि प्रोडक्ट ओनर क्या होता है. प्रोडक्ट ओनर का काम होता है कि क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं, वो सारी रिक्वायरमेंट्स को लिस्ट डाउन करेगा कि भाई ये काम कराना है मुझे, और जो भी काम कराना होगा उनको लिस्ट डाउन करेगा, उनको सीक्वेंस करेगा. स्क्रम मास्टर का काम होता है कि बाकी की सारे लोगों को, चाहे वो स्टेक होल्डर हो, स्क्रम टीम मेंबर हो या फिर प्रोडक्ट ओनर हो, उनको सबको असिस्ट करेंगे, उनको हेल्प करेंगे, एंड ही विल मेक श्योर दैट दे आर फॉलोइंग द राइट प्रैक्टिसेस एंड दे आर फोकस्ड ऑन देयर डे टू डे एक्टिविटी. तो वाटरफॉल मॉडल में जहाँ प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर होता है उसकी जगह पे यहाँ पे स्क्रम मास्टर होता है. बट क्या प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर और स्क्रम मास्टर सेम है? नहीं, सेम नहीं होते हैं. इनकी डिटेल्स में हम बाद में बात करेंगे, बट ये सेम नहीं होते हैं. वर्किंग जो मॉडल होता है वो थोड़ा डिफरेंट होता है. तो अगर हम इसकी बात करते हैं, अब ये जो भी प्रोजेक्ट का विजन होगा, ये प्रोडक्ट ओनर जो है इसका काम है सारे स्टेक होल्डर से मिलेगा, जितने भी लोग होंगे सबसे मिलेगा, और वो प्रोजेक्ट की रिक्वायरमेंट्स को लिस्ट डाउन करेगा, बैकलॉग बनाता जाएगा. हाँ सॉरी, एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो मैं आपको बताना भूल गया हूँ वो ये कि जो स्क्रम काम करता है ये टाइम बॉक्स मैनर में काम करता है. टाइम बॉक्स मैनर में काम करने का मतलब है कि यहाँ पे जो भी काम होता है वो एक पर्टिकुलर डिफाइंड टाइम फ्रेम के अंदर होता है. सो अगर हम बात करें कि हमने कुछ साइकिल हमने बात की थी कुछ टाइम पहले कि एजाइल में आइटरेटिव मॉडल में काम होता है, ये तो ये एक साइकिल है. तो ये साइकिल का एक प्रीडिफाइंड टाइम होगा, ये साइकिल कितना टाइम में टेकअप करनी है. जनरली एजाइल रिकमेंड ये करता है कि 1 वीक से लेके 4 वीक की साइकिल होनी चाहिए. तो मतलब 1 वीक से लेके 1 महीना तक की स्प्रिंट एक होनी चाहिए. तो दैट टाइम बॉक्स इवेंट इज कॉल्ड स्प्रिंट. इसको हम स्प्रिंट बोलते हैं. तो लेट्स से पहले महीने की स्प्रिंट, दूसरे महीने की स्प्रिंट, तीसरे महीने की स्प्रिंट, इस तरीके से होगा. तो लेट मान के चलते हैं कि आइडियल एग्जांपल के लिए कि 1 महीने की हमारी स्प्रिंट है जिसमें हमें काम करना है, बाकी हम सारी चीजें करेंगे. तो दैट टाइम बॉक्स इवेंट इज कॉल्ड स्प्रिंट, और उस स्प्रिंट के राउंड फिर काम होता है. तो व्हाट हैपेंस लाइक यहाँ पे हाई लेवल रिक्वायरमेंट्स सब होती हैं. उन हाई लेवल रिक्वायरमेंट्स को फिर हम एपिक्स में कन्वर्ट करते हैं। हाई लेवल रिक्वायरमेंट्स होगी कि भाई हमने इस ओवरऑल जो अचीव करना है वो ये करना है कि इसमें एक फाइनेंशियल मॉड्यूल होगा, इसमें एक रिजर्वेशन मॉड्यूल होगा, इसमें एक सेलिंग कैटलॉग होगा। इस तरीके से रिक्वायरमेंट्स आई होंगी जो प्रोजेक्ट विजन का पार्ट रही होंगी। फिर वो एपिक्स में कन्वर्ट होते हैं। एपिक्स में होता है कि उनको बड़े बड़े मॉड्यूल्स में तोड़ दिया जाता है, मतलब एक नेक्स्ट लेवल होगा उसका। हाई लेवल प्रोजेक्ट को तोड़ के एपिक्स में कन्वर्ट किया गया, रिक्वायरमेंट्स को और स्लाइस डाउन जो करके बनता है उसको बोलते हैं एपिक्स। फिर एपिक्स के को और फर्दर स्लाइस डाउन किया जाता है, और जो एपिक्स को फर्दर स्लाइस डाउन करते हैं दैट इज कॉल्ड योर यूजर स्टोरीज। यूजर स्टोरी का मतलब एक ये होगा कि उसमें स्पेसिफिकली ये लिखा होगा कि क्या अचीव करना है, पर्पस लिखा होगा कि एग्जैक्टली ये पर्पस सॉल्व होना चाहिए, और उसकी डेफिनेशन ऑफ डन होगी कि जब मैं इस काम को कंप्लीट करूंगा देन हाउ कैन आई वेरीफाई इट माई सेल्फ एट माई एंड इफ I have achieved the goal or no. So that can be that is also defined in the user story. So what happens next कि स्प्रिंट प्लानिंग मीटिंग होती है। फिर उसके बाद मान लीजिए मेरा एक स्प्रिंट है, ये पूरा एक स्प्रिंट है जिसको हम बोल रहे हैं एक महीने की एक साइकिल होगी ये। तो अभी हम क्या करते हैं कि स्प्रिंट प्लानिंग की मीटिंग करते हैं। दैट्स से ऑन द फर्स्ट डे ऑफ द स्प्रिंट वी विल डिस्कस कि हमें क्या काम करना है, करंट महीने में हमें क्या करना है। मतलब देयर माइट बी लेट्स से 2 years वर्क अवेलेबल हियर, बट हमें करंट महीने में क्या करना है उसके ऊपर हमें काम करना है। अब ये काम करने के लिए हमें क्या करना होगा, ये जो सारी चीजें मिला के हैं यहाँ पे इनको बोलते हैं हम प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग। मतलब टोटल मिला के ये काम करना था, और इस काम में से अब हम लोग ये लिस्ट जो होती है प्रायोरिटाइज लिस्ट होती है। ये काम होता है प्रोडक्ट ओनर का कि वो सारी लिस्ट को प्रायोरिटाइज करके रखेगा, एक सीक्वेंशियल ऑर्डर में रखेगा। और इस टीम को अब क्या करना है कि इनमें से एक पहले जो आइटम है उसको उठाया, और उसको सारी टीम इकट्ठे आएगी। ये जो पूरी टीम है स्क्रम टीम जितने भी लोग उससे काम कर रहे होंगे, और वो लोग ये बताएंगे कि इसको करने में कितना टाइम लगेगा। सारे मिलकर अपनी अपनी ओपिनियन देंगे एंड उसके हिसाब से फिर डिसाइड होगा कि ये कितना टाइम में काम होना है। और हम अपने इस एक महीने के अंदर मान लीजिए 8 बंदे काम कर रहे हैं, तो 8 बंदे के हिसाब से हम करंट स्प्रिंट में कितना काम उठा सकते हैं। लेट्स से 8 आवर्स का हमने काम उठाया
की भी बन जाएगी, ऐसी बात नहीं है, उससे भी बन जाएगी।
सॉरी ओके सो ओके सो व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग कि क्या काम हम लोग उठा रहे हैं करंट स्प्रिंट में, दैट विल बिकम द पार्ट ऑफ माय स्प्रिंट बैकलॉग। तो ये आपका था प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग, उसमें से जो काम हम करंट महीने में करके देने वाले हैं दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज स्प्रिंट बैकलॉग। और फिर उस काम को हम इम्प्लीमेंट करना शुरू करेंगे, डेवलप करना शुरू करेंगे, उसको कंप्लीट करेंगे हम पूरे महीने के अंदर, उसको रिव्यू करेंगे और उसको फिर हम डिलीवर कर देंगे कस्टमर। तो दिस इज हाउ इट्स गोइंग टू वर्क। अब इसमें फिर डिफरेंट सेरेमनीज होती हैं, मैं इनके बारे में वो डिटेल में अभी बताऊंगा, आगे की स्लाइड्स में है। बट यहाँ पे बस खाली मैं आपको हाईलाइट कर दे रहा हूँ कि एक डेली स्क्रम होता है। डेली स्क्रम क्या होता है कि 24 घंटे में एक बार पूरी टीम एक साथ मिलती है, सारे लोग एक साथ मिलेंगे और एक साथ मिलके दे विल डिस्कस what they accomplished in their previous day and what they are going to accomplish today. And if there are any kind of hurdles or impediments, then those will also be discussed so that others can help on that matter, right? तो स्क्रम रोल्स की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो स्क्रम रोल्स में हमारे पास प्रोडक्ट ओनर है। प्रोडक्ट ओनर की जो प्राइमरी एक्टिविटीज होती है वो क्या होती हैं, अभी मैं आपको जैसे एक्सप्लेन कर चुका हूँ ऑलरेडी। तो उनका काम होता है कि जो प्रोडक्ट की जो बैकलॉग होता है, प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग के आइटम्स को डिफाइन करेंगे, उनको सीक्वेंस करेंगे एंड दे विल ब्रिंग दी क्लैरिटी ऑन द गोल्स एंड द मिशन, राइट। दे विल ऑप्टिमाइज द वैल्यू ऑफ द वर्क डेवलपमेंट टीम परफॉर्म्स। उन्होंने देखना है कि क्या काम वो कर रहे हैं, जो काम कर रहे हैं करेक्ट डायरेक्शन में हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, वो सारी चीजें उनको देखनी होती है। जो प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग है उसके ऊपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि नहीं है। अगर जो प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग है कोई काम है कुछ लिखा हुआ है जिसको काम को करना है डेवलपमेंट टीम को एंड उनको क्लैरिटी नहीं है, तो दैट क्लैरिटी हैज टू बी गिवन बाय द प्रोडक्ट ओनर, दैट इज हिज रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। प्रोडक्ट ओनर के जो मेन फंक्शन होते हैं, जस्ट अ सेकंड प्लीज। ओके तो प्रोडक्ट ओनर की जो मेन फंक्शंस होते हैं वो कस्टमर की जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है उनको हाईलाइट करते हैं, कम्युनिकेट करते हैं बाकी सभी के साथ, एंड देन they decide. If there is any kind of disagreement or conflicts, then they will decide. So product owner has the final authority to decide. Similarly, this is स्क्रम मास्टर. स्क्रम मास्टर का काम होता है कि स्क्रम मास्टर जो है कोच करेगा, प्रोटेक्ट करेगा टीम को, और सर्वेंट लीडरशिप होती है, वो उनको गाइड करेगा कि कोई भी प्रोसेसेस वगैरह जो फॉलो करनी है वो सही फॉलो कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं। अगर उसमें कहीं कोई हर्डल्स हैं तो उनको हेल्प करते हैं उसके लिए। तो ये डेवलपमेंट टीम है, उसके रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज के बारे में लिखा है। आप गूगल पे सर्च भी कर सकते हैं, जो मैंने भी एक्सप्लेन किया है। मेनली इट इज सेम। तो इन जनरल व्हाट हैपेंस लाइक, जो टीम साइज है दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट। जनरली 3 से लेकर 9 लोग तक इसमें होना चाहिए स्क्रम टीम के अंदर। जो डेवलपमेंट टीम है आपकी, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए। अगर वो उससे ज़्यादा करेंगे तो देन इट विल बिकम डिफिकल्ट टू मैनेज, राइट। तो स्क्रम सेरेमनीज मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन की थी। स्प्रिंट प्लानिंग के बारे में मैंने आपको बताया कि प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग को उठाते हैं। प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग में से ही, लेट्स से प्रोडक्ट बैकलॉग है, उसमें से आइटम्स उठाएंगे, किस किस पे हमें करंट उसमें काम करना है मंथ में, वो उठा के हम लाएंगे। दैट विल बिकम योर स्प्रिंट बैकलॉग। डेली स्क्रम होती है कि डेली 24 घंटे में टीम को एक बार मिलना होता है, सारी टीम मिलेगी एंड दे विल डिस्कस कि उन्होंने कल क्या अचीव किया था, आज क्या अचीव करने वाले हैं, और अगर कोई उनको हर्डल्स आ रही हैं तो। देन स्प्रिंट रिव्यू होते हैं कि जब आपका स्प्रिंट कंप्लीट हो जाता है तो उसके बाद में जाके आप डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करते हैं कस्टमर को कि आपने क्या काम किया है, और वो काम जो आपने कंप्लीट किया है उसके बारे में आप उनको एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन देते हैं, सो दैट यू कैन शो द अकम्प्लिशमेंट विद इन दिस स्प्रिंट। रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव होती है कि टीम ये देखता है कि हर स्प्रिंट को कंप्लीट करने के बाद एक रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव मीटिंग की जाती है कि हमने जो पिछले महीने में काम किया है वो कितना इफेक्टिव है, क्या उसमें कोई चेंजेस है, इज देयर एनी प्रोसेसेस व्हिच वी आर फॉलोइंग एंड दैट इज नॉट कंट्रीब्यूटिंग, सो देन इन दैट केस दोज प्रोसेसेस शुड बी एलिमिनेटेड और स्टॉप्ड, और इफ देयर इज एनी काइंड ऑफ चेंजेस रिक्वायर्ड इन द प्रोसेसेस दैट वी आर फॉलोइंग। तो वो भी हर एक महीने आपको स्प्रिंट रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव के अंदर करना होता है। अगर हम बात करें अब एक सैंपल बर्न डाउन मैंने आपको दिखाया कि एजाइल के अंदर so give me just 2 3 4 minutes, I am going to wrap up, but before that I would like to give you kind of real sense of this tool. This is a great tool. So burn down sheet and burn down chart are the basically the tool that helps in managing the things in agile framework in the scrum. तो इस तरीके से होता है कि ये हर एक टास्क की एक आइडिया है। यहाँ पे ये टास्क हैं, ये टास्क की डिटेल्स हैं कि क्या टास्क करने हैं, किस प्रायोरिटी में उठाने हैं, किस डेवलपर को क्या काम करना है, या कोई जो भी एजाइल टीम का मेंबर है किसको क्या काम करना है, वो एलोकेशंस हैं। फिर उसके बाद उनके एफर्ट्स वगैरह डले हुए हैं एंड ऑन ए डेली बेसिस वो उसमें से कम होता हुआ जाएगा कि कल हमने किया था तो अभी काम कितना बचा है। उसको बोलते हैं बर्न डाउन चार्ट। मैं बर्न डाउन चार्ट भी आपको दिखाता हूँ, बट होता क्या है कि हर दिन आप जो है ना जितना काम उसमें किया है अपनी एक्टिविटी में, उतने काम को आप दिखाते हैं, वो बर्न होते चला जाएगा। जैसे यहाँ पे 8 घंटे का था, फिर 5 तारीख को ये आपका सिर्फ 5 घंटे का बचा है, देन उसके बाद नेक्स्ट डे ये 1 आवर का बचा है, राइट। तो एंड बाय द एंड ऑफ द मंथ सारी एक्टिविटीज को जीरो होना होता है। तो दैट इज द मेन एसेंस। तो दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ बर्न डाउन चार्ट। ये आपकी एक्सपेक्टेड कैपेसिटी होती है, या जो कैपेसिटी प्लानिंग आपने करी होगी कि आपकी, ये मैं आपको लास्ट मंथ का अपनी टीम का ही दिखा रहा हूँ। तो आपने जो कैपेसिटी प्लानिंग की थी कि आपके पास लेट्स से 1500 घंटे आप काम करके देने वाले हैं, एंड इसमें ये बर्न डाउन होता हुआ जाता है कि टोटल आपको इतना बर्न करना है, 1500 घंटे बर्न करने हैं। वो फिर बर्न करते करते आप देख रहे हो ना, कभी हो सकता है कि एज एक्सपेक्टेड वो रोज 6 घंटे बर्न कर रहे हो, 8 घंटे बर्न करने वाला जरूरी नहीं है। हो सकता है किसी दिन एफर्ट्स लगाए बट आउटकम नहीं आया, तो उस केस में फिर वो कम आवर्स बर्न कराते हैं। बट एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ, एट द एंड ऑफ द स्प्रिंट वो कंप्लीटली जीरो होना था। ठीक है जी। अगर हम बाकी और टूल्स के बारे में बात करें तो सम ऑफ द मोस्ट पॉपुलर टूल्स अवेलेबल फॉर द प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट थिंग दैट आर जीरा, बेसकैम्प, टीम वर्क, ट्रिलो। ये आई हैव यूज्ड मोस्ट ऑफ द टूल्स एंड आई फाउंड जीरा इज द best suitable tool for any kind of project management. तो एंड माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एक्सेल तो आप यूज कर ही सकते हैं, जो मैंने अभी आपको दिखाया ये सब एक्सेल के अंदर किया हुआ है, एंड एक्सेल इज द बेस्ट टूल अकॉर्डिंग टू मी. So that's all. If anything from your side, you can go for it.
Any query from any student? हेलो, किसी के पास कोई क्वेश्चन हो या तो चैट बॉक्स में डाल सकता है, डायरेक्टली अपने आप को अनम्यूट करके बोल सकता है. Okay, I think there is no query from any student. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable times and sharing your knowledge with our student. I'm also thankful to our department as well as our faculty colleagues for their support and cooperation. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, sir. मैं अब डिस्कनेक्ट करता हूँ सबको.